Today's lesson is called Paper and Pencil Addition Strategies. Lesson 4.8 Paper and Pencil Addition Strategies. In today's lesson, you will learn how to add up to 4 two-digit numbers using strategies based on place value and properties of operations. You will mentally add 10 or 100 to a given number, 100 through 900, and mentally subtract 10 or 100 from a given number, 100 to 900. You will explain why addition and subtraction strategies work using place value and the properties of operations. Your math message. Make an estimate or a guess to answer the following problems. Think about strategies you may use to help you find the answer. 78 plus 8, 57 plus 22. Remember, the two numbers that you're adding up are called the addends. And the answer that you find is called the sum. Ballpark estimates. One way to find a reasonable answer is to use ballpark estimates. A ballpark estimate changes the addends to close but easier numbers to add. Then add those easier numbers. A ballpark estimate is a reasonable answer. It must be in the ballpark. For the example, 47 plus 82. The two addends are 47 and 82. We're trying to find the sum. 47. So I have to ask myself, is it closer to 40 or 50? It's closer to 50. And 82. I ask myself, is that closer to 80 or 90? It's closer to 80. Ballpark estimates always end in 0. So then I add 5 plus 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then I have to add my 0. Ballpark estimates always end in 0. For the example here, they chose 57 and said that it was closer to 60, and 22 is closer to 20. 60 plus 20 is 80. Theirs ended in 0 too. Ballpark estimates always end in 0. Ballpark estimates always end in 0. So which strategy would you use? I'm going to cover 3 of them. We're going to try to solve the following. 47 plus 33. Our two addends are 47 and 33, and we're going to try to find the sum. Again, there are several strategies to help solve this. Choose the one that works best for you. We have counting on, compensation, and making tens. The first strategy, counting up. Here's our problem, 47 plus 33. We're going to start at 47 and count up 30 more because 33 is the same as 30 plus 3. So we start at 47 and we count up 30 more. it sounds like this. We're starting at 47, 57, 67, 77, and then add on 3 more, the plus 3. 77, 78, 79, 80. You'd be looking at your 100 grid when you're doing this, unless you can think it in your head. So 77 plus 3 equals 80. That's your sum. This strategy is called combining groups. I like to think of it as making tens. So the problem, your two addends are 29 plus 37. We're trying to find the sum. So I break down the addends into tens and ones. 29 equals 20 plus 9, and our 37 equals 30 plus 7. Then we add the tens, the 20 plus the 30, and that equals 50. Then add the ones, that's the 9 plus the 7, and 9 plus 7 is 16. And then put the two sums together. 50 plus 16, and this is mental math. 50 plus 16 equals 66. The next strategy is called adjusting and compensating. My problem is 52 plus 29. We need to find that sum. 30 is close to 29. Think of a ballpark estimate, and it always ends in 0. So this 29, it's just one more to get to 30. So some more mental math. 52 plus 30, the 52, and we made this into 30, and 52 plus 30 is 82. And then take away 1 because you added 30 instead of 29. So 82 minus 1 equals 81. So your answer is 81. You're using a couple of different strategies when you compensate. You have to know how to do a ballpark estimate, and then you have to compensate to either add up or take away. Assignment time. Math Journal, page 105. Find the Math Journal page. Pause the video if you need to. We can work through it together. Be ready. Get your pencil. So here we are, Math Journal, page 105. The directions tell us to write a number model to show the ballpark estimate. Solve the problem. Show your work in your workspaces. We're going to do the ballpark estimate first. And remember, ballpark estimates always end in 0. So I look at this first number, 39, and I have to ask myself, is that closer to 30 or 40? Yep, you're right. It's closer to 40. So I'm going to put a 40 there. See how it ends with 0? And then I look at the 26 and I ask myself, is that closer to 20 or 30? It's closer to 30. Good job. And 40 plus 30 equals 70. They all end in 0. So now, to actually solve the problem, this was the ballpark estimate. Now to solve the problem, I'm going to compensate. I'm going to adjust and compensate 39. It's so close to 40. It's so close to 40. Having a little trouble with my pencil. There we go. It's so close to 40. And 26 plus 40 would be 66. But I added one, so I have to take that away, compensate, and adjust. And I come up with 65. And if we round off 65, yep, it's close to our ballpark estimate, 70. Here we go, on to number 2. Here we go, on to number 2. We're going to do the ballpark estimate first. I look at my first addend, 18, and I ask myself, is that closer to 10 or 20? Yep, it's closer to 20. Ends in 0, 20 plus. And our other one, 45, ooh, it ends with that 5. And I remembered what I said earlier, 45. I'm going to round that up to 50. And 20 plus 50 equals 70. They always end in 0. Then I'm going to come down here and look at these two numbers, and I think I want to use the strategy of tens and ones. So 18 is like 10 plus 8, and 45 into tens and ones is 40 plus 5. So if I add my tens, I get 50, and when I add my ones, I get 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 50 plus 13 is 63. It's in the ballpark, close to 70. So here we go, on to number 3. Ballpark estimate first. 52. They always end in 0. 52. I ask myself, is that closer to 50 or 60? It's closer to 50. And 28. It's closer to 30. And 50 plus 30 is 80. I'm going to use the same strategy that I used on number 2. 52 is like 50 plus 2. And 28 is broken down into 20 plus 8. And 50 plus 20 is 70. And 2 plus 8 is 10. And 70 plus 10 is, it's right on. It's the same as our ballpark estimate. It has to be a reasonable guess. Ballpark estimates have to be reasonable. So here we go on to number 4. Doing the ballpark estimate first. 54. 54. That's closer to 50. And 79. I think I know which strategy I'm going to use. 79. It's closer to 80. It's only one away. And 50 plus 80. I'm going to use my big number first. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then I have to add, yep, you're right, my 0. So our ballpark estimate is 130. Now, the strategy that I want to use here is adjust and compensate, because 79 is so close to being 80. So 54 plus 80, if I add these up, this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 4 plus 0 is 4, but I added one, so I need to take one away. 134 minus 1 is 133, And then I come back up here and look at my ballpark estimate. And I look back down here. Yep, they are very close. That's very reasonable. So here we go with number 5. 115 plus 32. Ooh, oh, do you see what's different? I have a 3-digit number. That's okay. I still think of it as 115. Is it closer to 110 or 120? It ends with 5. So it's going to be 120 plus 32 is closer to 30, and 120 plus 30 is 150. I'm going to use tens and ones, but now something else is different. It's not just tens and ones, it's hundreds, tens and ones. I'm glad I have this nice space here. So 115 is like 100 plus 10 plus 5. And 32, when I break that into tens and ones, it's 30 plus 2. So I add all these up. 100 plus 40 plus 7. And I come up with 147. And then I come back up here to my ballpark estimate of 150. That's reasonable. Well, you know what this means. Try this. They're going to try to trick us. And I see what they're doing. They have 2 3-digit numbers. 2 3-digit numbers. That's okay. 327 is closer to 330. That's one addend. 146. That's closer to 150. They both end in 0. 330 plus 150. 3 plus 1 is 4. And this 3 plus this 5 is 8. And my 0, 480. So now I'm going to come over to here and try to figure out my strategy. I think I'm going to use hundreds, tens, and ones. So, hoping my pencil works for me here. 300 plus 20 plus 7. And 146 is 100 plus 40 plus 6. $300 plus 100 is 400, and 20 plus 40 is 60, and 7 plus 6 is 13. I'm going to ignore the 400 for just a minute and look at 60 plus 13, and that equals 73, and then add my 400 to it. 473. Is that a reasonable answer to our ballpark estimate? You bet. I'm going to pause recording right now. You can pause your video and complete the rest of this page at the bottom. You're looking for patterns. Add each problem. Use the first sum to help you find the other sums. Pause the video if you need to, and then be ready to move on. Hi, welcome back. This is still lesson 4.8. It's the math box page for that lesson, page 106. There are 6 problems here, as always, And I'm looking at number 1. They want to know how much money is there. I'm pretty confident you can do those. On number 2, they're talking about the temperature. It was 73 degrees and then it got colder. So that means the temperature went down. It went down by 13 degrees. Brrr, it got colder. 73 goes in the start box. That's where you started. And you need to find out what the new end temperature is. Remember, it got colder. Use your 100 grid. On number 3, there's a number change box. You start out with 25 books. And you bought 15 more. Notice how I'm circling the numbers. How many now? How many books? So you started with 25 and you bought 15 more. How many books do you have now? Don't forget to write your number model. Number 4, they want to know what the time is and what time will be in a half an hour. So that minute hand, the minute hand is going to move halfway around from where it is. Oops, there's a hint. On number 5, draw a line segment that's 6 centimeters long, and then underneath it, draw a line segment that is 2 centimeters longer. Not just 2 centimeters, but 2 centimeters longer. It's longer than 6. And then on number 6, draw a rectangle. 2 sides are 3 centimeters long, and 2 sides are 5 centimeters long. Good luck. So now that you've finished the math box page for this lesson, I would like you to take a screenshot and send it to me in Edmodo. If you need help, please ask. That completes the lesson 4.8. Today you've learned the following: how to add up 4 two-digit numbers using strategies based on place value and properties of operations, how to mentally add 10 or 100 to a given number, 100 through 900, and mentally subtract 10 or 100 from a given number, 100 through 900. And finally, how to explain why addition and subtraction strategies work using place value and properties of operations.